Jillian Igo, and I represented the country of Haiti. It was very fun. I really enjoyed it. And my topic today is drug trafficking and the drug war that's going on in the world. And as we all know, it's getting really intense, and maybe, I don't know, it's something that people are addressing more often nowadays, and I think that's very important, but we need to keep addressing it because it's a huge issue. And the definition of drug trafficking is the global and illicit trade involving the cultivation, manufacturing, distribution, and sale of substances which are subject to drug prohibition laws. This is a serious matter that is affecting us, our community, people we may or may not know, and the world around us. So I'm going to take things locally because locally this is a huge issue. Bristol County is facing the heroin epidemic. $20 was once the standard price for heroin, but in Taunton, bags can cost $5. Taunton surpassed 100 overdoses in the year of 2014. Just think about that for a minute. 100. It might not sound like a lot, but it is. And we can only imagine in this year what that amount of 100 overdoses has multiplied and stuff like that. But 99% of what's triggering these overdoses is fentanyl. Fentanyl stops you from breathing. Cities and towns across Massachusetts are facing a harsh reality in heroin overdoses. At least 185 people died of suspected overdoses between November 1st and February 24th, 2014. According to the state tally, Bristol County had 34 suspected heroin deaths during that time. Rescuers in New Bedford have administered the drug Narcan to reverse opiate overdoses 89 times during January and February. That's 2 months. 2 months. In all of last year, the drug was used 289 times to reverse opiate overdoses in New Bedford. That's just crazy. This is happening all around us, and this is why I chose to speak about this topic. Drug war-related homicides in the U.S. average at least 1,100 per year. The number of people murdered in the drug war inside the U.S. is between 2006 and 2010 exceeds the U.S. troop death toll in Iraq war, according to the FBI crime statistics. So now I want to focus on the topic of law and penalties one may face for trafficking the drugs. To be convicted of drug trafficking, a prosecutor must show that you possess the required amount of illegal drugs and that your possession was international. The law depends on specific amounts that differ between types of drugs that you possess. Drug trafficking charges do not depend on whether you were selling, manufacturing, or moving them. Usually, the prison sentences last at least over a year, even if it is the first time one is convicted. Fines can consist of costs from $25,000 to $100,000. Mules. A mule is a person who traffics drugs from border to border. And a lot of smugglers recruit minors, that is people our ages and younger. And younger, I mean elementary school age students. This is insane. But one may ask why. Why do they recruit us? People our age, people younger, people who are children, grandchildren, brothers and sisters to people just like us. It's because they are more easily persuaded by promises of cash, cell phones, and clothes. Usually the targeted youth are more impoverished. They are also sought out because they often tell their peers of such an opportunity. I mean, one may think it's money, and that can lead you into some serious trouble. Drug mules as young as 12 have been caught in the US and Mexican border. An estimated 50,000 vehicles and over 25,000 pedestrians flow north from Tijuana each day. This makes things difficult for officials to catch all mules. The average person wants to believe that children are not going to be the ones who smuggle narcotics. The cartels see that. The average payment for a mule is $3,000, which is a lot in poorer regions of the world. A lot. I can't emphasize that enough. A lot. But how do drug mules do it? They strap drugs to their body, swallow them, put them in shoe soles, shampoo bottles, and one of the most disturbing of them all, human carcasses. Yes, there have been reported cases of drugs being found inside of a dead child being carried to live alive. I mean, gosh. A lot of drugs are put inside condoms before swallowing, and the mule is then given a laxative to retrieve the drugs, for, lack of better terms, swallowed after the journey across the border. 1 in 4 drug mules is female. So let's talk about money now. The UN reported the global drug trade generated an estimate of $321.6 billion in 2003. I wonder what that is right now. With a world GDP of $36 trillion in the same year, illegal drug trade itself is about 1% of total global trade. That is a lot. I know it's 1%, but that's a lot. It's insane. Drug trafficking has many downfalls. I mean, many downfalls. Of course, as I touched upon earlier, drug trafficking can be directly linked to brutal crimes, especially in developing countries. Heroin, by 2007, was 93% of the opiates on the world market, manufactured in Afghanistan. Heroin is a large and high-profit substance for mules and dealers, adding to the international heroin epidemic. Because of the high cost per volume, it is easily smuggled into the US due to the small quantity required to bring a large profit. And as you can all see, this is a tragic issue in crisis, and it is vital to bring awareness to how close we are to the impacts of the drug war and trafficking. But our awareness is the first step to improvement. Thank you, everyone.